Career Talk. I'm Elizabeth, and today I'm here with Matthew from FieldTurf. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, Liz. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Could you tell me a little bit what you do?
Well, I'm a supervisor for artificial turf company called FieldTurf, and we basically get jobs such as this one, and we come in and put artificial turf down for whoever. And this job happens to be, I think it's a minor league baseball field, and pretty exciting and something new and challenging every day.
So FieldTurf, it's not at very many places, so do you have to travel a lot with your job, or?
Yeah, there are actually quite a few divisions, but we usually have like 5 crews in each region. Like say this is the Midwest, so we have about 4 or 5 crews here. I usually work in the Mid-Atlantic in DC and Virginia and Maryland, but we're a little short-staffed right now, so we're out here, doing our thing.
Nice.
Wherever they tell us to go, we go.
Did you need any special training or degree to get?
No, you don't need a degree, high school diploma, willing to work long hours. It can be hard in the summertime with the heat, that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, for sure. I saw you guys putting it together earlier. It looked like you were sewing it to all the pieces together. Could you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, it's literally sewn with it's actually for sewing together big potato sacks, and probably 90% of the tools we use aren't for turf. It's a kind of a new industry, only 30 years old or so. So we kind of have to adapt and develop our own thing, and we're using hand sewing machines to sew the turf together literally. And there's other ways to do it, but that's what we do. That's our patent. So.
What would you say is the most challenging thing about your job?
The heat.
The heat, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely the heat. It gets a little warm out here under the sun all day,
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's not too tough.
What is your job title and what are you responsible for?
My job title is site supervisor, and I'm responsible for the 6 other guys I work with and daily tasks and making sure the job gets done and staying under budget, turning in timesheets, payroll. I got a few hats with my job. So.
Yeah. Is there anything you encounter that's difficult, that you have to take care of, or what are the things that you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, let's say logistics. Sometimes, say, working in Washington, D.C. Anybody been to Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
It can be tough there logistically, trying to get big trucks in there with all our materials, and there's nowhere to really go except in the street,
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of the toughest things sometimes is logistics.
What's the biggest turf job you guys have done?
I myself have done the Patriot Stadium twice.
Oh, wow.
And some Michigan, the Wolverines, I've done their stadium, Ohio State. What else has we got? Howard University in DC. There's a lot of big profile names we've done. And some of the New England division, they actually have a contract with maintenance and reinstallation with the Patriots, so they're there all the time.
Yeah, for sure. What got you to this job? What other jobs did you do?
Growing up, I've always had a really strong interest in building things, and actually for my 12th birthday, I got a skill saw. And then in junior high, I went ahead and took industrial arts, and from then on, I just stayed with it, learned a lot of things, and from my understanding, it's not too much of a big thing anymore. Programs like that need to come back around. It'd be helpful, and a lot of places are starting to develop, and that's where I started at. And then I started doing turf about 16 years ago. My sister's next door neighbor was actually a foreman then, and I was looking for a job, so I landed with that, and I worked in New England for about 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
And then became a foreman myself, and now I travel all over the place.
For you.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure. If someone was interested in getting into turf, what would you say they do, or any advice you can give to them?
Just talk to someone like myself, or call a turf company or FieldTurf, and they would take your information, pass it along to human resources, and then process you from there, and then place you wherever needed. And sometimes in our case, some of us come in groups, me and 3 other guys are from northern Ohio, and we travel around together. And there's a lot of small groups like that together. Like we have a lot of guys that are from Mexico legally, and they come out here for the season, work, and then go back home for a couple months and enjoy themselves, you know.
So it sounds like someone that could just coming out of high school could just kind of get right into the job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hands-on.
There's no experience required. Just you know, willingness to work. That's it, and then from there you'll learn.
So there's a lot that goes under the turf and like all of that. Are you like involved in any of that part of the turf?
No, there's other third-party companies, or sometimes we have our own crew too. They go around and they do all the subgrade work, put in all the drainage and make sure everything's level and make it look nice, and then we just come in and put the turf on top of it.
So what is like the point of like all the pebbles like under it?
That's for the drainage. And then yeah, and it helps with the how firm it is and even how soft it can be. You don't want it too hard. Somebody could get hurt, of course. And then it's all a little balance here and there, but it's mostly for the drainage.
How often do you have to like change out the turf? Do you have to do it often, or does it sometimes just stay?
It's usually every 8, 10, 12 years. Depends on, you know, how it lasts. It's like anything else. The better you take care of it, the longer it'll last, you know.
Sure. What kind of care is there that you have to like do to take care of the turf?
Well, there's once a week or once every other week, depending on how much activity there's on the field. You get a little bit of rubber displacement. So they got to run a drag over the field and level everything back out. It's actually pretty easy.
Okay.
Not too much to it.
Has your job changed at all over the years? Like.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, you know, with technology and new things coming out, new tools, and sometimes things change and become a little easier. But I'd say over the past 10 years, not too much has changed recently. It's still the same old thing. What does change is the quality of the material. You know, that improves over the years with research and development and make it, you know, bigger, better, faster, stronger, you know.
For sure. What did you have to do to be the site supervisor, you said, or the site manager?
Just, you know, worked hard.
Worked
hard, learn everything, you know, have a little bit of background in, you know, communicating with your guys. That's important. You know, a little bit of medical training, because people had gotten sick out here and have to take them to the hospital, or they get hurt. You know, you have to have a little bit of medical training, like first aid and CPR and stuff like that. But other than that, that's it. Just work hard and learn everything you can.
What is your favorite thing about the job?
Every couple of weeks we're somewhere different. You know, we'll be here for another week and a half maybe, and then we'll move to another town, new hotel, different looking place, different people, different things to eat. There's a lot of places to eat. You experience new things, you know.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part about it.
So with your job, there's such an immediate change and transformation. That would seem like rewarding to you guys, is it? Like.
Yeah, it is. It really is. You come in, you see what you see, the gravel, and then a week and a half, 2 weeks later, it's a beautiful field, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, I did that, and then everybody's happy. And sometimes the clients will take us out to dinner to a nice place, or get us a cooler of beer. Am I allowed to say that? Okay.
Yeah, it really pulls the whole stadium together. That's for
yeah.
Sure.
There goes. There's definitely a pride to it. When you're done, you look at it and you feel good inside, you know.
For sure. Thank you so much for your time, Matthew, and
no problem.
Thank you all out there for watching. For more information, contact FieldTurf or CareerTalk.